By the mid-19th century, sentimental visions of white childhood innocence had achieved dominance in U.S. culture, and through the Topsy-Turvy doll, enslaved women appropriated white childhood innocence, transforming it into a tool to be deployed for their own political purposes. So what behaviors, both determined and implied, did the Topsy-Turvy doll script for its historically specific users who included both black and white children, mainly girls, in the antebellum South? Well, Bernstein writes that the Topsy-Turvy doll determinatively scripts one action. Any user, regardless of age, race, gender, or historical context, necessarily obscures one character pole to play with the other character pole. The Topsy-Turvy doll can be only one color at a time. The doll is typically too stiff to allow the black and white characters to bend sufficiently at the waist to face each other. While the scriptive thing determines that the character poles can never talk or play together, the script simultaneously invites the playing child to alternate between the poles, to flip the skirts. The thing scripted its user to position neither black nor white permanently on top. The competent user received the thing's message that the hierarchy could, and should, flip. With this thing, enslaved African American women scripted racial flip-flops, a performance of black and white in endless oscillation rather than permanent ranks of dominant and oppressed. When an enslaved woman sewed a Topsy-Turvy doll for her enslaved child, typically a daughter, she offered that child an opportunity to own and to have complete power over a representation of a white girl. The doll's constitutive skirt always gendered both poles of the dolls as girls or women. The single shared skirt gendered the poles of the dolls equally. It asserted, long before the declaration attributed to Sojourner Truth, that if white women are women, then black women are also women. The doll maker scripted a performance of equal gendering stitched to racial resistance, a play in which the skirt that genders white girls simultaneously and equally genders black girls of play, in which white domination is always temporary. On the other hand, when an enslaved African American woman sewed a Topsy-Turvy doll for a slave-holding white child, the script that emerged was not only intellectually brilliant, but also angry and bitterly witty. In this script, the African American doll maker sent that child to bed with a sign of systemic rapes committed by members of that child's race, if not that child's immediate family. She tucked beneath the child's blanket a sign of the child's enslaved half-sibling, either literal or symbolic. This script delivers trenchant political critique through humor. If an enslaved woman sews an obscene doll and gives it to a glorified white slave-holding child who cuddles and kisses and adores it and takes it into bed while slave-holding adults looked on in obtuse approval, that's funny. It's a bitter joke, a shocking joke, even a tragic joke. But it is a joke, and it is funny. By constructing the doll as cuddly, the doll maker scripted an ironic performance to which she and other slaves were the privileged audience, in which the white child nuzzled and adored a thing that was explicitly prudish in the lack of crotch and implicitly obscene in the reference to grape, illicit sex, and resultant birthing. By tricking slaveholders into performing, enslaved people transformed themselves into privileged spectators. Beneath the Topsy-Turvy skirts, we find not only a chastely genital-less polarized doll, but also a demurely murmured, "Fuck you." The softness of the Topsy-Turvy doll instructed the child to carry the thing into spaces in which cuddling occurred, the home, the bed. The thing functioned as a Trojan horse that smuggled an enslaved woman's emotions, analysis, and critiques into white slaveholders' homes. Thus, the enslaved African American woman transformed the slave-holding white child from exalted innocence to smuggler's mule, a beast of burden dragging the Trojan horse. Topsy-turvy, the slave-holding child became the constricted laborer on behalf of the enslaved adult. In this April 2024 article, Deborah Britt, executive director and co-founder of the National Black Doll Museum of History and Culture in Massachusetts, shares the following recitation. Topsy-turvy upside down. One side white, the other side brown. When the master is around, the brown side is down. I pretend to cook and clean without a frown. But when we're alone, just mommy and me, she flips me over and whispers,